Okay, I guess it's 6 o'clock, so we'll start here.
Survivors on.
Yep. So this is May 9th, 2024, regular planning meeting of council. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Be it resolved that the meeting be called to order and that the agenda for the meeting be adopted as circulated. Could I have a mover, please?
I'll move.
Councilor Bichetti moves. Could I have a seconder, please?
I'll second it.
Councilor Patcan seconds it. Any comments, questions? Call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Now down to 3 addendums to agenda. Be it resolved that council accept the following additions, deletions, or changes to the agenda. Could I have a
Mr. Mayor?
mover, please?
There are no addendums this evening.
None? Okay. None. Going down, there's nothing for 5, 6 plan, got over here. Okay, we are on number 6. 6.1 Miller Road subdivision. Whereas Council of the Rural Municipality of West St. Paul passes a resolution 2015-067 on February 12, 2015, which provided that subdivision applications for properties located along the south side of Miller Road between PTH 9 PTH and PTH 9 would be considered by the Rural Municipality of West St. Paul for review or approval until such time as collective overland flooding and drainage issues and poor drainage was resolved. By implementing and completing the required engineering drainage for subdivision S13-2516, the creeks to the rural municipality's satisfaction, and as whereas applications for subdivisions can be approved by council for the rural municipality of West St. Paul, subject to conditions such as entering into a development agreement that would require a drainage lot grading plan has been prepared by a qualified engineer to the satisfaction of the municipality. Therefore, be it resolved that the rural municipality of West St. Paul accepts subdivision applications for properties located along the south side of Miller Road between PTH 8 and PTH 9 in accordance with the Planning Act. Could I have a mover, please?
So move, Mr. Mayor.
Councilor Patcan moves. Can I have a seconder, please?
I'll second.
Councilor Bichetti seconds it. Any comments, questions? Councilor Patcan?
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, for introducing the motion. And by way of background, there's been a desire by residents on Miller Road between Highway number 8 and Highway number 9 on the south side to subdivide their lots. Many of them have 5-acre lots, and they're looking to subdivide. The reason why this motion is in place, there is a former motion from 2015 that states that no subdivision application process would be considered until such time as the drainage issues relative to the land south of Miller, north of Jackman have been resolved through a development agreement with a subdivision. So we found out through discussions, I've had a chance to talk with all our council colleagues, including yourself, Mr. Mayor, on this, and the RM has a process in place that can satisfy the sentiment basically of the 2015 motion. Council also just recently did a subdivision on Jackman Road at the last planning meeting of council, and that applicant that we approved would be required to enter into a development agreement and provide a drainage and lot grading plan to the RM to the satisfaction of the municipality. So in essence, we do have a mechanism to deal with this on a one-on-one basis. And so this resolution here just provides some clarity and allows residents on the south side of Miller Road to subdivide whenever they're ready, if they wish to, and an avenue for the RM to ensure that the drainage issues are dealt with and resolved and don't impact negatively on any adjoining properties on the south side of Miller Road. So with that, I want to thank again yourself, Mr. Mayor, and all council colleagues who I've had a chance to speak to on this matter.
Thank you. Any other for Councilor Campbell?
I would just like to speak to this matter. So this is, I was actually one of the mover or seconder, I can't remember now, from 2015, when Councilor Patcan had approached me about discussing this. I remember back when this was brought up, the former mayor at the time had brought this up. He was in favor of doing this, and as typical, you know, with even council and today, the mayor doesn't first or second very many items. So, you know, the mayor had said, hey, you know, I can't remember the reasoning, but it was about drainage. There was someone that approached him at the time that was scared about having their properties flooded out. But as Councillor Pactican has stated, we do have a mechanism, you know, in place so that other properties aren't getting flooded out. So, you know, that's just in case anybody looks back and said, hey, you voted for this back in 2015, and now, you know, you're gonna vote whatever way you're gonna vote now. So, that's about it.
Okay. Any other comments, questions?
Councillor Clyber has her hand
Yep.
raised.
Okay, Council Clyber?
Yeah, this is something that I requested in my last term as well. I know there are at least 2 or 3 houses ready to subdivide. We had a meeting about this and we were told that the drainage wasn't proper and the developer hadn't remedied any of the situation. And so given that the developer is now a new developer, has gone into a new development agreement, it's time that we allow these people to do their subdivisions. And I think it's perfect timing, and I fully support this resolution. Thank you.
Okay. Any other comments, questions? Can I call for the vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Council Clyber? Aye. Okay. Any opposed? Hearing none?
I'm not opposed, I'm in favor.
Yes, I saw your hand go up for favor.
Okay, sorry, a little bit of a lag.
No, that's all right. Seeing none opposed, it's carried. Go down to confirmation of minutes, 7.1, regular meeting of April 25th. Be it resolved that the minutes of the regular meeting of council held on April 25th, 2024 be approved. Could I have a mover, please?
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Council Pactican moves. Can I have a seconder, please?
I'll second.
Councilor Campbell seconds it. Any comments, questions? Hearing none, carried. Call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, carried. We're down to no delegations, bylaws, 9.1. First reading of the Canada Community Building Reserve Fund by bylaw 2024-9. Be it resolved that the bylaw 2024-9 being a bylaw of the rural municipality of West St. Paul to update the name in the gas reserve fund and rescind bylaw 4-2006 be read a first time. Could I have a mover,
I'll
please?
move it.
Councilor Campbell moves.
I'll
Can I-
second.
Councilor
I'll
Shet-
second.
Councilor Shetty seconds. Any comments, questions? Hearing none, can I call for the vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None, carried. Second reading of the antenna system siting protocol bylaw 2024-4. Be it resolved that the bylaw 2024, being a bylaw of the rural municipality of West St. Paul to create an antenna system sitting protocol be read a second time. Could I have a mover, please?
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Councilor Pactican moves, Councilor Clyber seconds it. Any comments, questions? Councilor Pactican, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'll keep my comments short. I just do want to say that this is a good protocol for the RM of West St. Paul. It allows the RM to be to have a strong say, I think, in the siting of new antennas, and the protocol is quite robust. I've had a chance to look at it, and it encourages the use of existing antennas, co-locating antennas on existing structures, and ensuring that antennas have a maximum distance from residential, commercial, and it does give, like I say, the RMs a really good footing, and the public as well for public consultation, a good avenue to, in terms of a protocol to deal with these applications when they come forward. I just want to recognize a local resident, Mr. Ron Lewick, who was really instrumental in assisting us and advocating for such a bylaw, and you know, I want to thank him for his efforts on this regard. So those are my comments.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions, comments? Okay, hearing none, can I call for the vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, carried. That's 9.2. So now we go to 9.3. the third reading of antenna system sitting by protocol bylaw 2024-04. Will be a recorded vote. Be it resolved that the bylaw 2024-04 being a bylaw of the rural municipality of West St. Paul to create an antenna system sitting protocol be read a third and final time, signed, sealed, and therefore passed as a bylaw of the rural municipality of West St. Paul. Could I have a mover, please?
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Councillor Patcan moves. Can I have a seconder?
I'll second.
Councillor Kleiber seconds it. Any comments, questions? Hearing none, can I call for the vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, carried. Next is accounts payable, accounts and invoices for payments. 10.1, accounts received for information. Does anyone have any questions on the accounts payment register? None, okay, we'll go on to the next one. No payroll, monthly financial statements, 12.1. Financial statements for the period ending February 29, 2024. Be it resolved that the Council of the Rural Municipality of West St. Paul approve the financial statements for the period ending February 29, 24. Could I have a mover, please? Council Shetty moves. Can I have a seconder, please?
I'll second it.
I'll second.
Council Patcan seconds it. Can I have any comments, questions? Hearing none. Can I call for the vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Any opposed? Seeing none, carried. 12.2, financial statements for the period ending March 31st, 2024. Be it resolved that the Council of the Rural Municipality of West St. Paul approve the financial statements for the period ending March 31st, 2024. Could I have a mover, please? Anyone moving it? Council Bichetti moves it. Seconder, can I have a seconder?
I'll second it.
Council Patcan seconds it. Any comments, questions? None, hearing none, call for the vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, carried. So now we're in 13, CAO report. Be it resolved that the Council of the Rural Municipality of West St. Paul accept the CAO's report as information. Could I have a mover, please?
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Council Patcan moves. Can I have a seconder, please?
I'll second.
Council Campbell seconds it. Any comments, questions? Go ahead, Councilor Patcan.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, I just wanted to spotlight the CAO for this. We had some comments at last month's meeting, and I want to congratulate him for really putting together a really good CAO report and, you know, taking to heart some of the suggestions that council put forward. I think that I was looking at the director of infrastructure, and it's very good. I really like the detail. This report in general provides, I think, a really strong step towards open, transparent government, and provides citizens with some confidence in terms of what staff are doing, what the ARM is, the activities and initiatives and projects that ARM staff are working on from a month-to-month basis, and it's quite good. Even the the municipal emergency coordinator report I thought was quite good too. It came across as very honest, and it provided detail that I thought was germane to the position. And I want to encourage staff and yourself to continue on this reporting structure, because I think it's quite good and it provides good detail. I was really happy reading it, so just congratulations on putting together a solid report. Thank you.
Thank you. A lot of hard work by staff, so I appreciate that.
Any other comments, questions? I echo Councilor Patcan's comments. I do have one little request. When I see, I'm going to use the ones that are in progress. Sometimes they transition from 2023 to 2024, and you would have a date in there like January 23rd, but it doesn't say it's from 2023. So I'm wondering if they could also include a year with their date, because then it sort of makes it a little more easy to follow, to say, because then you're not, I find sometimes I'm trying to figure out, okay, they say March, so was it this last March or the March before? And then you gotta take a look around, so that could be done.
What example are you talking Which section?
Oh.
Just out of curiosity.
Sewer collection report would be one example, would be one, where the resolution was in 2023.
Oh,
And then
okay.
they said, you
Oh,
know,
I
there
see.
was something done in June 22nd and July 13th, and you wonder, so if it had 2023, it would be a little more clear that that's what it was for. Okay, so, can I call for the vote? Anyone, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None? Hearing none, carried. Now we're down to communications, number 14, 14.1. Miscellaneous correspondence for the month of April. Be it resolved that the Council of the Rural Municipality of West St. Paul accept the miscellaneous correspondence for the month of April as information. Could I have a mover, please?
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Council Platcam moves, Council Bichetti seconds it. Could I have any comments, questions? Hearing none, can I call for the vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Uh, Any opposed? Hearing none, carried. Next is 14.2, West St. Paul Trails Committee meeting resolution. Is received for
There's no
information.
resolution.
No, I see that, received for information. Does anyone have any comments, questions on it? Hearing none, okay. We'll carry on to number 15, general business. 15.1, miscellaneous meeting dates. Be it resolved that the Council of the Rural Municipality of West St. Paul authorize attendance at the following meetings. Financial plan presentation, dry run, Mayor Turgeon. April 12th, Manitoba Highways, PTH expansion phase 2, Mayor Turgeon. April 12th, meeting with province and school board, Councilor Clyburn. Campbell.
Yeah,
Councilor
that was
Clyburn.
that was the same meeting as you,
Yeah,
right?
no.
So, I just I worded mine a little bit different, you know, because it was with MTI and the school board was there, so.
I was
Yeah.
at that one too,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, you
Councilor-
were, yes,
Councilor-
and you're not on here, are you?
No.
Nope, so, yes.
I think I missed it on my reports.
Oh, okay, yeah, you were on, okay. So then was April 22nd, and emergency preparedness media training was Mayor Turgeon. And then on April 24th, emergency preparedness reception training was Mayor Turgeon and Councilor Bichetti. Is there any more? Oh, okay. So could I have
I
a
have
move?
a question.
Go ahead.
Didn't you already put in for a dry run for the financial plan in March?
No, we had two. We had two dry runs on the financial plan. One of them was to go through it, and then there was changes made, so then we had another one just prior to it. Right? We had two, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Yes, we did have to, we had
Yep.
the first kind of format, kind of a discussion of the format, what would be in it, how it would go. We put together all the comments and all the ideas and shared the presentation with the mayor for any last review, and then we had a dry run of it on April 3rd. That's correct.
Well, my personal opinion is they shouldn't be charged for, but that's my personal. I'll leave it there.
Any other comments, questions? Okay, call for the vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Apologies, was there a
Go-
mover and seconder for that?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
there wasn't.
Oh,
We didn't.
okay, can I have a mover, please?
I'll move it.
Council Bichetti moves it, can I have a seconder?
I'll second it.
Councilor Paxton seconds it. I call for the vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, carried. 15.2, 2023 surplus appropriation to reserves. Whereas the Council of Rural Municipality of West St. Paul has established reserve funds for specific purposes. And whereas for the period ending December 31st, 2023, the Rural Municipality of West St. Paul realized an operating surplus in the general operating fund. Now therefore be it resolved that the following amounts arising from the general operating fund surplus totaling $1,450,000 be transferred to the following reserve accounts,
1 million.
or $1,450,000 be transferred into the following reserve funds. Public Works Building Reserve Bylaw number 2003-03, $200,000. General Reserve Fund Bylaw number 5-2004, $250,000. IT Reserve Bylaw number 2013-2, $30,000. Equipment Replacement Reserve Bylaw number 2019-10, 200,000. Fire Equipment Reserve Bylaw number 2015-01, 200,000. Administrative Building Reserve Bylaw number 2013-15, 570,000. Could I have a mover, please?
I'll move it.
Councilor Bichetti moves. Could I have a seconder, please?
I'll second it.
Councilor Patcan seconds it. Any comments, questions? None? Hearing none, can I call for the vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, carried. 15.3, West St. Paul Reserve Expansion. Whereas the Manitoba Water Services Board has approved $5,185,288.17, 50% funding in provincial funding for the West St. Paul Water Reserve Expansion Project. Now therefore be it resolved that the Council of the Rural Municipality of West St. Paul approve the adjusted project budget of $10,370,576.33 with funding supplied by 50% by the Manitoba Water Reserve Board and 50% by the Rural Municipality of West St. Paul. The Mayor and the CEO will be authorized to sign an amendment cost sharing agreement if required. The funds for the Water Reserve Expansion Project be borne by the Water Reserve and Capital Reserve, and the contributions from the Capital Reserve towards the project be recovered from future water levy revenues. Could I have a mover, please?
I'll move.
Councilor Bichetti moves. Could I have a seconder, please?
I'll second.
Councilor Campbell seconds it. Could I have any comments, questions? Councilor Patcan?
Yeah, if could the CEO just provide a quick synopsis? I know there's an analysis on his report, but you know, I think it's a good time to discuss it. Maybe you know, what some highlights of his report.
Yeah, absolutely. So, really, the gist of the report is to approve an adjusted project budget from $10 million to $10,370,576.33, which effectively, at a 50-50 split, effectively increases the RM's contribution to the project by $185,288.17. The project itself will provide the municipality with a total capacity of 7,000 ERUs and ultimately a design population of 21,000 persons, sort of under standard assumptions. Our Manitoba Water Services Board put the tender out for bid, and two bidders came back. JC Paving came back at $11,136,399.40. Henco came back at $11,206,399.40. So JC Paving is the most favorable bid, but they came in just over $1.1 million over budget and over total project budget. So what we did is we went back, we did some value engineering, and we excluded a couple of provisional items. The first being the stainless steel pump columns and the bowl assemblies, which and replaced them with cast, and ultimately that will result in a cost reduction of approximately $200,000. This the request to go to stainless was made by Cartier Regional Water Co-op, and so we did have conversation with them and say we're over budget. We've got to take out some provisional items. We got to do some value engineering here. This item, you know, it's a nice to have. Is it absolutely necessary? And we offered them the opportunity to contribute the $200 and leave it in if they felt that it was going to add significant maintenance value and reduce the overall project price significantly. They took a look at it and declined and agreed that it was not worth an extra of $200,000. Had it been a lesser amount, it probably would have been worth consideration. The other item we removed from the project was a graveling of the surface of the field next to the reservoir at a cost of $650,000 to add up to provide some additional parking and storage space for Public Works. this again, viewed as a nice to have, and it was removed from the project. So by removing $850,000 of the project, we brought the low bid price down to a total of $10,370,576.33. Manitoba Water Services Board had agreed to provide 50% funding up to an incremental amount of their initial budget of $5 million. So they're willing to provide 50% funding up to a total contribution of $5.5 million. By bringing the budget down to 10.4-ish, $10.37 million, a 50-50 split is within that tolerance, that 10% tolerance of Manitoba Water Services Board. And so we still wind up with a 50-50 project split at a cost to the municipality of $5,185,288.17. So really what this is about was bids came in a little bit higher than budgeted. We did some value engineering to get the price down substantively, still not under the $10 million mark. So Manitoba Water Resources or Manitoba Water Services Board is willing to match the sort of the delta on this by coming up with $185,000 if the RM is prepared to do so as well. So it's really a recommendation of an additional $185,288.17 from the RM for the project. It's a good project. It adds substantive value to the RM. It'll provide water capacity for years to come. I think that's the recommendation to proceed.
Just a follow-up question. Yeah, thanks for that. If you could just address two other things. In your report, you talk about that it's critical and paramount for commercial and industrial development. And can you also let us know high level or roughly what a timeline would be for this construction?
Yeah, absolutely. The merits of the project are substantive in terms of it will allow for continued commercial development, further development as a whole, also for additional water or fire protection within the RM. Expectations is that award of the project will take place in the coming weeks. Formal award from Manitoba Water Services Board with mobilization in the next month or two, and hopefully completion within 18 to 20 months.
Thank you.
Councilor Bichetti?
Just more of a comment, just a little bit of clarification. So that extra money would be coming out of the water reserve?
Well, it would come out of the water reserve, up to, the water reserve right now has a balance of 400, it would come out of the water reserve, and then any additional monies required would come out of the capital reserve, but then be replaced into the capital
Okay.
reserve from ERUs collected on the sale of the surplus ERUs from the reservoir.
Okay,
So the
that was my
capital,
next part of the.
so there will be some borrowing from the capital reserve to the water reserve, which will be replenished as ERUs are purchased.
That's what I was gonna get at.
Yeah.
The second part is that it's gonna be put
Replenished.
back as it's paid back in.
Yes, absolutely.
Councilor Campbell?
Yeah, you approached the question I was gonna ask. What's the surplus or the balance in the water reserve currently?
Water reserve balance right now is $4,985,028.53 as of May 1st,
Yeah,
not right now,
so-
as of May 1st.
So, and then part of your comments here is that this additional cell should bring in, it's like $8.5 million in water.
Yes.
Right,
On the surplus ERUs, remaining, available from the reservoir itself, at current rates of $4,500 per ERU, would yield approximately 8.6, was it? Something of that order?
Something, yeah, it's.
Yeah, something in the order of $8.6 million. That amount would possibly increase as the price of ERUs increase, so
Sure.
could be more than that as well.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions? I see Councilor Kleiber is off the screen. Has she got any questions or not?
No, I don't have any questions.
Okay, thank you. Can I call for,
Can I just add some
Approval,
comments now?
by all means, yes.
I just had an opportunity to ask some questions. I would just put some comments on the record. Just want to thank the CAO for the work you did to provide look for some value engineering, and that we've sort of bridged the delta with the Water Services Board on the 185,000. I think this is a great project, and I remember Councillor Campbell really urging us to move forward on this. Prices continue to go up all the time. The estimate for this project was some months ago, so we're pretty close in terms of what we wanted to see, and moving forward with this project. I know developers have always said, it's common knowledge among developers, they always say, follow the pipe. And when you develop these services, development is gonna soon follow, and I absolutely agree with you. Once these services are put in, there might be an explosion of commercial and retail development within the RM, which is great. I know people wanted to see that, and they're looking for high quality commercial and retail development, and I think this will help pave the way for that. So thank you all around for the efforts in creating this opportunity for the RM.
any other comments, questions? Seeing none, can I call for the vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? See none, carried. 15.4, fees and charges, bylaw 2016-08, Schedule A amendments. Be it resolved that the Council of the Rural Municipality of West St. Paul accept the amendments to Schedule A of the fees and charges bylaw as presented. Could I have a mover, please?
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Councilor Pat Cam moves. Can I have a seconder, please? Councilor Campbell seconds it. Any comments, questions? Hearing none, can I call for the vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? See none, carried. 15.5, RFP 2024-3, design, build, construction of a conventional wood frame shop extension 24 by 70 by 12. Be it resolved that the Council of the Rural Municipality of West St. Paul accept a bid for a design, build, construction service of a conventional wood frame shop extension submitted by Ridgemark Builders in the amount of $154,295 plus GST. Could I have a mover, please?
I'll move.
Councilor Pat Cam moves.
I'll second.
Councilor Bichetti seconds it. Any comments, questions? Councilor Pat Cam?
Yeah, I know at Committee of the Whole, we had some questions and regarding this, because for me, I was just wondering, why is the lowest bidder so low compared to the next bidder? I think that CAO Wardrop was able to satisfactorily answer the questions. It just seems like a real shock, the amount of differential, but I think we are getting good value here, and if the low bidder can provide it to us at this price, I think we gotta take it.
Yeah.
Yep.
It is noteworthy that the project itself is very close to the budget threshold. So it doesn't appear so much that the low bidder is low as much as the second and third bidder were excessive.
Okay.
Okay, Councilor Bichetti?
Just more of a comment. There already was one addition done to this building, which was done by Ridgemark, so it's basically a copycat of that. So they built one side, so they know exactly how to duplicate it to the other side. And I
As
guess
far-
it
as far
helps
as you
that
know-
they're right next door to where the building's being built at the same time, so there's,
And as far as you know, there was no issues with the original build?
no, I've seen nothing come back to us, so.
Okay. Excellent.
And myself and the mayor, I
Yeah,
believe,
we were-
Oh,
we
you
toured
toured?
it that
Yeah.
one day, and
Yeah.
Okay, this is good.
Any
Thank
other
you.
comments, questions? Can I call for the vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? See none, carried. Okay, we're 15.6, West St. Paul Canada Day parking control. Be it resolved that the that the Council of the Rural Municipality of West St. Paul provide a donation to West St. Paul cops in the amount of $1,000, subject to their completion of volunteer hours at the West St. Paul Canada Day event in accordance with the terms agreed upon between cops and the municipality. Could I have a mover, please?
I'll move it.
Councilor Bichetti moves. Can I have a seconder, please?
I'll second it.
Pat Can seconds it. Any comments? Go ahead,
Yeah,
Councilor.
I just have some questions. I just wanna know, I think this is a good idea with the community partnership. And I just want to know how many volunteers are going to be working this throughout the day, especially during the end of the evening when there's a scramble to get out. And will there be a uniform? Will the COP have a uniform presence? Like, you know, is it going to look like some uniformity so that people understand that these are the people that are directing traffic, that type of thing? So those are some questions that I have.
Yeah, so we will have them in an identifiable manner, whether that's with protecting bonds or Lenny indicates that they will have shirts. It could be reflective vests, but there will be shirts that will be offered or that will be the cops, the volunteers will be wearing, to be able to assist with or be easily identifiable. We're probably going to be talking about somewhere in the neighborhood of 15 to 20 volunteers. And when we look at sort of the hours or the hourly rate that they'd be recovering, it would be somewhere in terms of a donation. It would probably equate to somewhere between $12.50 and $17.50 per hour.
So essentially, you're looking at having 3 shifts of 5, or you're not saying 15 at a time.
No,
the whole day. You're saying
no. 3 shifts. The first shift, the early shift being only 2 to 4 people. Second shift between 11:30 a.m. and 3:30 p.m. would be 6 to 8 people. Third shift between 3:30 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. would be again 6 to 8 people.
What about afterwards, after the fireworks?
Oh, that'll be our staff.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you.
Councillor Kleiber had her hand up. Go ahead, Councillor Kleiber.
Yeah, who entertained that the cops do this? With this proposal?
I think, I'm not certain of the genesis. I know the Canada Day Committee had been working on solutions. This has been a long-standing problem in terms of directing traffic in and out of the event. We've tried different approaches in the past. Going with volunteers in 2023, my understanding was problematic in terms of a low number of the committed volunteers actually showed up, and it was a drain on resources to kind of keep the parking moving. So it was a recommendation coming out of the Canada Day Committee.
And were there any other groups explored besides the COP group? Because we just gave them another donation, an extra donation of $1,000 this year, and now we're doing it again. So, one, is this coming out of Canada Day Reserve?
It could, Lainey?
So this expense would be coming from the revenues of Canada Day, from the sponsorships that we have secured. And so the intent would be that this wouldn't come from reserve funds.
Okay, so it would not come from reserve funds, but it would not come from the operating budget either.
No.
Okay, and were any other groups explored besides the COP program?
To my knowledge, no. The volunteers, there was a lacrosse team that provided services in 2022 at a price of $1,500. Last year we had gone with just volunteers. This year the thinking is any contribution to COP is really an investment in the community as well, as COP does provide support for volunteer services in the community to keep sort of the eyes and ears of what's going on as well. So it was kind of seen as a leveraged investment in the community in terms of working with COP.
Yeah, the previous group, lacrosse group, did the pancake breakfast. They did the whole breakfast. So that was their donation. But I'm disappointed that we didn't explore any other groups, because we just topped up the COP program with an extra $1,000. And I think $1,000 to monitor parking is very high. And I would like to see that other groups had an opportunity to weigh on in this. I don't think any other groups have had an opportunity. That they would probably like $1,000 donated to their cause as well. And, I know that there are probably other groups out there, like our soccer team that is now, located in the Access Center. I'm sure there's other groups that would want an opportunity to do this, and we're not giving them opportunity. We're right away funneling it over to cops, which I've got a problem with that. I mean, I understand that cops is very valuable in our community, and that's really great, and I don't deny that at all, but I feel like we need to give equal opportunity to other groups as well, not just cops. So, that's my take on it. And I think $1,000 is quite high as well.
Okay, go ahead, Councillor Bichette.
I just want to clarify for Councillor Pactican, COP, as the liaison for COP, they will be wearing their protective vests with the COP logos and everything on it, so that they'll be highly visible. There has been some emails going out, and they are working on even getting more volunteers than what we're asking for, so that they could fill more positions and have more people available. You know, West St. Paul COP is a very respectful, you know, group for West St. Paul, known by a lot of the people in West St. Paul, and they're spread out through the community, so they're known from different people in different areas. I don't see a problem with this. As we did with the lacrosse team, we did $1,500 for parking. Councillor Kleiber, that wasn't the pancake breakfast, that was another group that they had do the pancake breakfast. The lacrosse team was 2022, and that was for them to go to the finals.
So who did the pancake breakfast then?
That was another baseball team that was brought in by I don't know who that was brought in by, but.
Yeah,
The-
I'm, Councillor, Shetty, I don't wanna,
No, I was just clarifying for you.
I'm not disagreeing with you, I'm just saying it would be nice to give other people opportunities too, instead of always moving in one direction, that's all I'm saying. And I don't deny that they do a value.
No, I never said you did. I was just clarifying about the pancake breakfast part. And yeah, I'm good with the $1,000. We did do $1,500 for that lacrosse team to go to their finals, I believe it was in Montreal or Quebec. So to see it with a group of as this, and that's what they do. You know, they're patrolling and they're out there doing it instead of, you know, expecting the volunteers to come in and do it. I think it's pretty straightforward to me, and I'm good with this.
Just,
Councillor Pactican.
I would like to make one more comment. I would say, that we would have to, I would like to add to the resolution that there be a minimum amount of people, doing the parking during shifts, so that, you know, if we say we're gonna give them a donation for parking and 2 people show up, which I don't think there will be, but if we have a minimum amount of people per shift, or a minimum amount of people that's gonna be showing up to do this, is that possible?
Councillor Pactican.
yeah, I just want to say that, no, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there, Councillor Clever, but I just want to say that as a candidate planning rep, I heard what Councillor Clever said, and I'll take it under advisement to the committee, and maybe look at a way that, if there's a way to invite other groups to perhaps put a proposal in for parking. But I fully support this year's contribution to COP. I believe it's a good investment, leveraging council's investment within the community itself. And I'm not really sure, I'm not really on board with putting a minimum. I think we can leave it in the hands of our CAO, who hears what you're saying. And it sounds like they have already the minimum of a few, so I'm good with it.
Well, I just think there should be a condition that there should be so many people represented if we're gonna give them $1,000. So if they're gonna do this, and I'll support it if the rest of the board is supporting it, then you should have a minimum amount of people that are gonna show up for the volunteerism.
Yeah,
So how are we going to ensure that?
well, we are specifying a minimum number of hours expected during different shifts, where we're looking for between 8 and 16 person hours, between 7:30 and 11:30, between 24 and 32 person hours, between 11:30 and 3:30, and a minimum of 24 person hours between 3:30 and 7:30 p.m. So we are specifying a minimum contribution in terms of volunteer time.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Councillor Shetty,
I was just checking the email from the COP coordinator. They're still working on the numbers of how many people there will be at every, like, they're working on the numbers that the CAO's been speaking to them. I will ask him for a confirmed number when it gets closer to that date and share it with the rest of council, so we know. They're looking for more, obviously, than we're asking for, but I'll share the confirmed schedule once we get it.
Good.
Okay. So I am a member of COP. I was at the COP meeting on Saturday, and they talked about this year, and they are excited about doing this. They're well on board on it. They're glad to be doing it. They see it as an excellent opportunity to promote their organization and to show what they can do. So yes, I support this, what they have here. So any other comments, questions? Okay, hearing none, can I call for the vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, carried. Okay, we're at 15.7. Be it resolved that the Council of the Rural Municipality of West St. Paul accept Emerson Valetti as the recipient for the 2024 West St. Paul Youth Volunteer Award as recommended by the Acting Recreation Director. Could I have a mover, please?
I'll move.
Councilor Bichetti moves, can I have a seconder?
I'll second it.
Pactacan seconds it. Any comments, questions? Hearing none?
The
Oh,
CAO provided some details. I asked for details at the last meeting during the second nomination.
Yes, upon review, it's both the, I guess it was in terms of the eligibility of the second candidate, and the second candidate is not a resident in West St. Paul, so they are not eligible to receive the Youth Volunteer Award according to the criteria as specified. So I think the recommendation to proceed with Emerson Violette remains appropriate.
Any other comments, questions? Hearing none, can I call for the vote? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Seeing none, carried. But now we're down to 15.8, the J.C. Chick Balderston Volunteer Award. Be it resolved that the Council of the Rural Municipality of West St. Paul accept Evelyn Miskew as a recipient for the 2024 J.C. Chick Balder Award as recommended by the Acting Recreation Director. Could I have a mover, please?
I'll move. Just to
Councilor
get it on the
Shetty.
floor, please.
Pardon?
I'll move to get it on the floor.
Yep, Councilor Bichetti moves, can I have a seconder, please?
I'll second.
Councilor Patacan seconds it. Any comments, questions?
I have a comment.
Go ahead, Councilor Bichetti.
First of all, I'd like to thank administration for the report on both of these awards. They're very important to West St. Paul. It's, been done for years during this Canada Day celebration. And I just want to, emphasize, according to what it says on the letter, I thank Ms. Miskew for, the many years of volunteering in West St. Paul. I'm gonna be it's a hard topic to discuss, we've worked together, but I'm looking at the eligibility to this Chick Balderstone Award. I think we need to clarify a little bit that, as elected officials, former elected officials, when we look at the letter that was for Evelyn Miskew, we're gonna be looking at a lot of the years that she was an elected official as a school trustee, which, is a tough job, and I understand, a lot of the stuff is done under that umbrella of the school trustee, and a lot of it is done under your own. I find a little bit of a problem that she was a trustee through that, 20 years or so of the volunteering listed in there. Some of that stuff looks like it was done through the school division, which she was an elected official. So I'm gonna have to recommend that this goes to Greg Lashinsky, who's also a longtime resident of West St. Paul and has put a lot of time into volunteering in West St. Paul and has not stood on any committees as an elected official or paid position.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you very much. Any comments, questions, others? Everybody But anyone agree? Everyone agree with it, or?
Yeah, okay, I'll weigh in on it.
So go ahead.
Yeah, it's definitely not lost on myself, or I don't think anyone on this council, of the great work and public service that Ms. Evelyn Miskew, former school trustee, has done in the arm of West St. Paul and perhaps other communities around West St. Paul. At the same time, we're looking at Greg Luczynski as also a nominee. But when you look at them side by side, both of them have done great work in the community, and as Councillor Berchetti said, this is, we're looking to nominate someone, not an elected official. And she's not an elected official, but the bulk of her work did occur as a community servant while she was elected. So it's fairly clear that Greg Luczynski, non-elected, has done also a great body of work in community service in the arm of West St. Paul. And so when you compare them side by side, it really is a clear winner that he ought to be the recipient of the Chick Balderstone Award. So I'd be supporting Councillor Berchetti's position and comments with respect to awarding this Chick Balderstone Award to Mr. Greg Luczynski.
Any other comments?
No, I agree with both,
Okay.
both the comments the other two councillors have made.
Councillor Kleiber? Does Councillor Kleiber have any comments, or?
I support Councillor Bichetti's, and Councillor Paxton. Thank you.
Okay, so then we need to change the resolution.
Correct, so the amended resolution would read, be it resolved that the Council of the Rural Municipality of West St. Paul accepts Greg Luczynski as the recipient for the 2024 J.C. Chick Balderstone Award.
Okay,
As the mover, I'm good with that amendment.
Yeah, I'm good with this as a seconder.
okay. So can we call for the vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, carried. Now we're going down to, in camera.
Nothing in camera, yeah.
There's nothing in camera?
Personnel, is that it?
Oh, is there?
Yes, there is,
Oh,
yes. Okay.
Personnel.
I didn't think there
Yep.
was.
Oh, personnel, sorry. I
Oh,
didn't see
sorry,
that.
yeah,
I
it's
didn't
on,
see
it's
that
on the
either.
next page.
Yeah. Look, used it for the page.
Be it resolved that in accordance with section 1523 of the Municipal Act, council do now move in camera to discuss personnel. Be it further resolved that in accordance with subsection 83(1)D of the Municipal Act, any issues that are discussed are kept confidential until discussed at a regular council meeting. Could I have a mover, please?
So moved.
Councilor Patrick moves, Councilor Bichetti seconds it. Okay, can I call for the vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, carried. Okay, so for the Rising Report, we had some personal matters that we were discussing, non-critical ones. Now I'm gonna adjourn the meeting. Be it resolved that this meeting of council stand adjourned at 7:15 PM. Can I have a mover, please? Councilor Bichetti moves. Can I have a seconder,
I'll
please?
second it.
Councilor Campbell's, Bichetti, sorry, Paxton seconds it. Any comments, questions? Hearing none, can I call for the vote? All in
Aye.
favor? Aye. Any opposed? None? Seeing none, carried.